cover stories and everything. So, remember before when I said my name was Patricia? Well, that was sort of the half-truth. I had a different name before all of this mess. A gorgeous name. But that and everything else were taken from me when she who must not be named ruined my life. I was pulled from my life of glamour and ease and relocated to here. Yeah, the house was a serious downgrade from what I was used to. See what I mean about an opposite Cinderella story? I know this is different from what we're used to. At least we still have each other. One day, we'll live in a big mansion again. I hoped she was right. In the meantime, Mom set up security cameras everywhere. She was afraid someone would somehow find out who we were and try to break in and steal whatever valuables we had left. That fall, I started up at my new school. I thought it would be a breeze. I'd never had any problems making friends before in my fancy school, back when I had money. But here, everyone was staring at me as I walked in. I felt like a total fish out of water. What, are you like from Gossip Girl or something? It got worse in the classroom. May I use the washroom? Mayhaps the princess would like a peasant to escort her. And even worse than that, in the cafeteria. Look, Gossip Girl thinks she's at a royal banquet. Here, have some slop like the rest of us, princess. I was about ready to blow my cover and demand Mom let us move back to our old life when… Hey, leave her alone. Your mama sure would be mad if I told her that this is how you minded your manners. Wow, thank you for that. Don't mention it. Someone has to show you some proper small-town hospitality. I'm Sally. Patricia. Where are you from, Patricia? I grew up in the big city with a ton of money. My paternal grandparents invented trail mix, but my dad walked out on me and my mom and took all of our riches with him. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry to hear that. We used to have more money too, but, well, it's complicated. It's hard, what with being one of 6 kids. Hey, if you'll let me, I would love to help you learn the ropes of a small-town life on a budget. Under Sally's wing, I started to really get the hang of my new life. She taught me all the tips and tricks to finding the best deals while thrift shopping. $5, final offer. The art of sandwich making. The more cold cuts, the better. Even how to use a lawnmower. She was a hoot. While all the other neighborhood kids were riding bikes, Sally would show up places driving her dad's lawnmower. And you don't need a license for this? Nope. Weirdly though, I never actually saw Sally's dad, but more on that later. Sally encouraged my painting, even if it meant using unconventional canvases. She was the most thoughtful friend I ever had. In turn, I taught Sally all about how to host a proper high tea, and even how to ballroom dance. Sally was a total girly girl at heart, and I could tell she appreciated feeling like a princess for once. Over time, Sally and I became inseparable, and we especially loved taking her lawnmower out for joyrides. Hey, instead of zooming around town, why don't you put that machine to good use and mow my lawn? I'll throw you $20. $30, final offer. The haggling skills Sally taught me were really coming in handy. And that's how Sally and I started earning some extra cash. In the beginning, we had a handful of customers, mostly our friends' parents, who paid us to mow their lawns and rake their leaves. But then, Sally had a fabulous idea. Trisha, you're such an excellent artist. We should offer painting services too. You can even do customized designs. Oh my gosh, Sally, you're a genius. We showed up to the hardware store, excited to get all the materials we'd need to expand our business, but were shocked when we saw the prices. We were in over our heads. I went home, defeated, but then I thought of someone who just might have some good advice. Janessa, the apple certainly doesn't fall far from the tree. I'd be happy to jumpstart this business for you too. We'll finally have a new way to make money. But first, I want to see your business plan. With Mom's guidance and funding, S&T's Landscaping was born, and with her savvy advertising, our client base expanded quickly. Plus, I was having a blast customizing people's houses with my art. With Sally by my side, I was starting to finally feel at home in this small town. There was just one weird thing. Sally never invited me to her house. She always made excuses why we should meet at my place instead. Oh shoot, I totally forgot. My crazy Uncle Louie's at my house this week. He always brings all 17 of his pet chickens. We should probably just hang out at your house. I fell for it when she told me about Aunt Linda and her 6 boa constrictors, but 17 pet chickens? Yeah, right. One day, curiosity got the better of me. When Sally told me she was heading home after school, I pretended I was going to my place, but I followed her instead. What could she possibly be hiding? I followed Sally to the outskirts of town, the bad neighborhood. Whoa, Sally lives here? The trailer barely looked big enough to hold a twin bed. How could Sally and her 5 siblings and her parents even fit in there? Just then, I lost my balance and fell to the ground with a huge thud. Trisha?
No worries at all. You have a great day. 100.
Fell to the ground with a huge thud. Trisha? Sally, I can explain. I thought Sally was gonna start screaming at me, but instead, she started crying. I'm sorry I never showed you my home. It's just, well, I was embarrassed of this ugly trailer. My dad used to have an excellent job, and we had a big house and a big yard, but Dad lost his job a few years ago and ended up in jail. Ugh. If it wasn't for BFF Enterprises, we would never be in this mess. He was just trying to stand up to their evil owners, and instead Cheryl hired her cronies to make it look like Dad was lying and put him away. It felt like my stomach had dropped out of my butt. Sally's dad was the angry former employee who'd made a case against Mom. Thank goodness Sally had no idea who Mom and I actually were, thanks to our aliases and dye jobs. But why was she blaming Mom when it was really her dad who put us in this mess? I knew I shouldn't say anything or risk Sally getting suspicious, so I ran home before I put my foot in my mouth. Trisha, wait! Was it something I said? I avoided Sally the rest of the week, which wasn't easy. I felt so conflicted. Sally was my best friend, but she hated my mom and blamed her for her dad being in jail. So, I decided to get Mom's advice. I need to talk to you. Sally's dad is your angry former employee who ended up in jail. Oh, come on now, Trisha. What a strange joke. Why was Mom calling me Trisha? At home, she always called me by my real name. Mom, this is serious. Sally has no idea who I really am, or that you're actually the co-founder of BFF Enterprises. Just then, Sally popped up from behind the couch.